Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
The 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
Good morning, everybody. What another beautiful Saturday morning. It's a great day. It's the day before Easter. If you celebrate Easter, it's sunny outside here in Atlanta. I'm feeling good. It's supposed to be 69 degrees. We have Final Four coming up today. Major League Baseball has started. NBA basketball, people trying to get into the playoffs, fighting for positions. NHL playoffs about to start if you're an NHL fan. Football free agencies. I mean, it's so much to get into, man, if you're a sports fan. And if you don't know, you've entered inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And I am your host, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? And of course, I'm not doing this by myself. Got my road dog back.
MIA.
What's going on, man?
Back in the building, the intellectual. I'm happy to be back, man. It's been 2 weeks since I've been gone, but I'm ready to talk sports and have a great show today.
Yes, sir. That's how we're going to do it. That's how we are doing it today. And if you are listening and you want to watch via Facebook, we are on the 3-Point Conversion page. You will see just go to the page on Facebook, the 3-Point Conversion, and you'll be able to follow us and let your family and friends know that you're listening as well, man. They can listen as well. Like I said, we have a great show. We're getting into the Final Four. You know, we're talking about the Final Four, some big things going on with that. And then also we have the hot topic. There's a list came out, the most influential players, NBA players, you know, in history as far as game changers who changed the culture. We're going to definitely debate about that. We also going to talk about the NFL rules. And then we have Major League Baseball. It's time to get into that.
Yes.
And then we have a special guest in Justin Gibbons from the Montreal Alouettes. He was with the original, he's with the 3-Point Conversion series. When we first started, he was there for that. And then we have a special guest that's in the building that'll be on later, Mr. Kyle Clinton-Nell, better known as Spoonie if y'all know him. And then we have Deshaun Tate coming on as well. And then Ben Wilson will be here to talk baseball. So, hey, man, it's time to get into these quick hits. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's get it. Yes, let's get it. So we're going to start off like this. Last night, I don't know if you all are paying attention to the NCAA women's basketball, but UConn, who was 36-0, once again, they were undefeated last year.
They always undefeated.
Yeah, and they got upset last night, if you want to call it an upset, by Notre Dame. Orike Agumbowale. She hit the game-winning shot with 1 second left in overtime to defeat them.
That's big. Everybody just knew. I mean, when it's NCAA tournament, you usually like, okay, UConn.
Right.
You know, man, that's huge.
And then on top of that, they will play Mississippi State, which beat Louisville. So I guess my question is, with UConn, they're losing last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we used to say it's not fair, but last 2 years they've lost, and both on buzzer beaters are second shots.
I mean, that's why it's called the tournament.
Yeah.
It happens. That's why we be ready for March, for not just the upsets, but the games that come down to one shot. We all expected UConn to be there. They're not.
Right. Now, moving on. Tiger Woods is happy, I guess, right now. He's in a good place. He's been playing well. And he said on yesterday that he is excited about a second chance as he gears up for the Masters. I think this is more like his 8th chance. But even with that being said, he's still not far from Jack record, right? Right.
He's still not that old. I mean,
golf
play into their 70s if they need to. I just want to see him do what he do. I want him to break Jack's record and go down as the greatest. He's looked great the last few matches he's been in. So man, maybe he can come out, do his thing, and show us what Tiger all about, man. I just want him to be back because, like I say, it's always good for the game when Tiger in the game.
No, definitely, man. And when you have golfers saying that as well, current golfers saying the game is better when, I don't think they're just saying it because they're getting more publicity, but it's the truth. It's exciting.
It's something to look forward to.
I think they get up for the game.
Jordan's speed, he hasn't even been out there really being dominant, so maybe he needs somebody to come and push him and make him want to get out there and do something different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. No, you're right. Moving on. Let's say congratulations to LeBron James as he passed Michael Jordan double-digit mark. His double-digit mark, marking 867 straight games over 10 points. Mm-hmm. That's an incredible feat, man.
It's incredible. I looked at it was him, MJ, then Kareem. Behind them, man, it's ridiculous. Like Shaq at 200 something, Allen Iverson was at 1 something. But a lot of that goes into being hurt, ejected. You know what I mean? A lot of that goes into that, which happens a lot. It just didn't happen to Mike. It didn't happen to LeBron.
Right.
And when he did it, I like the fact he did it. After a few plays, they stopped it. I think it was a TV timeout. They gave him the ball. He gave the fans, gave them some what's ups, and he gave the ball back, and he didn't make too much of it. Thank you, and just kept moving and kept balling out.
Yeah. So and like I said, there's nothing to say, there's nothing to hate on. That's a great feat, man.
It's probably not gonna happen, and if it do, it's gonna be another great one. You know what I mean? And because literally the next person behind him, I think, is James Harden, and he had 200 or something.
Yeah, that's not happening. So. Moving on. Lamar Jackson had his pro day on yesterday, and he took snaps under the center, like a quarterback should, which is, there's nothing surprising about that. But he didn't run his 40 time.
I'm glad he did.
Me too.
I am so glad he didn't. He is a quarterback. We know he can run. But if he was to run the 40, then they're going to try to label him as something else. He should play wide receiver. He should do this. He going to come into the league. He going to dominate. And everybody that passed on going to be sorry.
Yep.
Mark my words.
The intellectual said it here. We tell the truth and shame the devil. Moving on. Troy Tulowitzki, the Toronto Blue Jays, was the second baseman. He's on a 60-day DL with a bone spur.
He's always hurt, ain't he?
Yeah.
And not just that, but Toronto Blue Jays, they always...
It's something that they can't get it right.
Yeah, even when Batista was there, he'd get hurt right before the playoffs start.
Right.
Or what, Carcion,
yeah.
He'd get hurt right before...
They're like the LA Clippers.
Yeah.
With Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. It's just I don't know.
Not supposed to happen.
But anyway, let's say congratulations also to a few players. We don't know the whole list, but the Basketball Hall of Fame will announce the inductees this evening for 2018. But it has been leaked out, and we found out that Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Grant Hill, and Maurice Cheeks.
Mo Cheeks.
Were the few that did get inducted. And we have some more players. You have Chris Webber as a finalist. A few other players. But what I want to ask you is, out of this list, is there anybody you would argue and say they shouldn't be first ballot?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell us.
Steve Nash. I mean, there's an argument he should have won 2 MVP trophies. I know for sure Shaq should have got one of them. I mean, for
Kobe
sure.
should have got one.
Right. So that's 2 easily. You know what I mean? So we can say that. And he was great, fantastic in Phoenix. No argument, no anything, right? But that was his second time in Phoenix. Because Phoenix originally drafted him.
Right.
He wasn't great when he first came to Phoenix.
No.
When he was in Dallas, when it was him and
he was good.
Him and Dirk, they were good.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he wasn't great. So he had a 3 to 5 year period where he was dominant. He was dominant, right? But we can't even. I'm not even gonna say dominant. He was great. He
did what they needed him to do.
Exactly.
So I won't get mad at that because he didn't have to score. He was a scorer, and he scored more in Dallas. He didn't score in Phoenix.
He was a facilitator. But that's all. Not to say that's all he did, but that's all he did because on the defensive end, it was like there's nothing going on.
Right.
Like there's no defense. I mean, but if you do that, then you have to make the argument that Grant Hill may not.
I was just about to ask you.
May not be
Grant Hill, and the reason why. I think he should be, and I want to say he should, but he didn't play
after the first 7 years.
6, I think.
Six or 7 years. It was 3 years with nothing.
He was hurt, and that's not his fault. But
then
still,
he came back. That year in Orlando, he averaged 20. He played 67, 70 games.
Something like that. Yeah.
You know, he followed up, and he had a pretty good career in Phoenix.
Just one thing to consider here. They consider the college career, too. So it's not like the NBA Hall of Fame.
Oh, so this Naismith.
It's Naismith, right.
It's everything.
So if that's the case, then
No argument on Grant Hill.
Right. Yeah. I don't think we go ahead. Yes. We have this is Kyle right here. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, just real quick. Steve Nash was a product of D'Antoni's system. Plain point period. You look at James Harden now, he's doing the exact same things, just on a more athletic level because he's a better scorer. Absolutely. But Steve Nash is a product of Mike D'Antoni. Outside of that, we wouldn't even put him in our top 25 point guards.
You might be right.
We can say he's a product of Don Nelson's system too.
Yeah,
it was similar,
right. But should we hold that against him? I mean, it's a lot of players that Magic Johnson, as great as he was, because Pat Riley said, you know what, we're going to go ahead. He was very good before, like the rookie year, he was great.
We're just going to run.
But when Pat Riley was like, let's use his ability, and you can't get mad at that because they're using his ability and his skill set like to the best.
That's true, but now he says it's the Naismith Hall of Fame, correct?
Right. It considers the college career too.
Okay, so
where he went to college? Where?
Santa Clara. So
was he good? I don't know. I think he was.
Drafted, so we have to say
but he was like 15th, I believe.
I mean, but it doesn't have to be combined both. If
but
you're good,
if you do, now I can see Grant Hill being first ballot
because he was
right, and not him being first ballot.
Right.
Well, his famous moment at Santa Clara was when they beat Duke or Arizona. Though they beat Arizona while in the NCAA tournament, they were a 14 seed. Arizona was a 3.
Right.
That kind of put him on the map and made him a first round pick.
Yeah, but no, that's not enough.
So look, we're gonna wrap it up because this could go. I told the intellectual we should have made this a topic.
Shout out to Mo Cheeks. Shout
out to Mo Cheeks. All right, and last but not least, Michael Bennett will plead not guilty if charged with that felony. So we'll see what happens with that. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Sherm, executive producer of the 3 Point Conversion Radio and host of Face the Music, which you can hear each and every Wednesday night on Spreaker Radio as well as iTunes. And right now, I'm kicked back, relaxed inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge with my homie Mr. Controversy and, of course, the Intellectual. Relax and take notes.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music, if it's in the air, or on the air. It can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Homeowners, in today's world, no neighborhood is immune from burglaries. Get a state-of-the-art monitored home security system for Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, and get peace of mind today. Call right now, 1-888-213-2244, 1-888-213-2244. Local permit fees may be required. License number CAACO 6320, KY City of Louisville 483, and FLEC 130003427. Call for additional numbers. Call now, 1-888-213-2244.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your girl, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, and you're listening to the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Stay tuned. Going to be a great show.
Yes, yes. Mr. Controversy here inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Got my man D Intellectual in the building.
Yes, yes.
And we want to definitely shout out the sponsor of this next segment, which is called The Hot Topic. And we want to shout out to Cindy Cuts Barbershop, 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. The best barbershop in Atlanta. Also, I want to shout out my man, because if I don't, he's going to keep bugging me. But nah, this guy's Code. That's why they call him Chris Codes. What up, Chris? I see you, sir. All right, so look. I got to bring on, let me introduce my man, formally introduce him, my man, Mr. Kyle Clinton. Now, this is last Battlegrounds champion, or he's a current Battlegrounds champion right now.
Correct.
You know, he went through, he had a rough time. His first, the first go, he lost by default, actually, because both of them was horrible. And, but he battled back, and now he's the champ. What's going on, Kyle?
Not much to it, man. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man. So, all right, let's get into this, man. I want to talk about this list that came out, and we had this list that come out, I think Wednesday or whatever, Tuesday, Wednesday, either or. But the list, it was talking about the game changers, and NBA most influential players called game changers, the most influential players that changed the culture. And they ranked it from 1 to 100. But we're not going to go that far. I'm just going to give you the top 10, and then what I want to do is I'm going to go around. I want to ask everyone, is there anybody they think that should be higher, lower, or just any person they want to point out, whether they're not on the list or whatever. So number 1, they have Michael Jordan. Then 2, they have LeBron James. Magic 3, Russell 4, Wilt 5, Kareem 6, Oscar 7, Julius Dr. J 8, Bird 9, and Steph 10. And then you have, I think Iverson was what? 13. Kobe was 12.
Jerry West 11.
Shaq was 16 or something like that. Yeah. So I want to open it up to the panel. We're going to let our guests come in first. So Kyle, who was it, or who do you think shouldn't or should be higher or lower?
First thing that jumped out to me was Allen Iverson, man. Just the fact, without even the basketball skills with the handles and everything that he brought to us with that, it's just the off the court. He brought hip hop culture into basketball, which what it is today. Everything that is involved with the sport of NBA is part of hip hop.
Right.
So he brought the cornrows, the style of dress, and the persona of what everybody is in the league today.
Right.
So I think 13 is a slap in his face as far as just socially what he did for the game, let alone what he brought.
Right, the crossover,
he was wiping people's noses.
Right.
Rule changes because of him. The carrying rule.
Right,
absolutely.
You got to dress a certain way rule. You can't have an entourage. All this because of AI, man.
He changed the culture of the game.
That's a game. That's an influential. That's
So
top 10.
where would you put him top 10 then?
For me, personally, he's 2 behind Mike. Just for me, 2.
Okay.
Because as far as what I enjoy from the game, what I vision from the game, and what the players give me from the game, it came from AI.
So look, you can call in at 404-603-8770. Again, that's 404-603-8770 and give your 3 cents. All right, D, who would you say?
So I'm looking. I think Steph should be where he is. Reason being because he made it possible to shoot from wherever you want to. Like it don't matter no more. But I think LeBron is too high. I don't think he should be 2. I understand that, being a prodigy, and he literally from 5th grade up until now, he's done everything. Most prodigies slip, they fall, they do something. But what Bill Russell did to put him at 4, and not just on the court, I think what he did off the court. We talking about the 50s, the 60s, where you couldn't go do certain things being a black man. I think that's more influential because of what he was allowed other players to do coming into the day. So I think that's a big one. But I think even bigger than that, I think Shaq not being in the top 10 is a slap in the face to me. The reason I say that is because he was the dominance he had on the court. Like they allowed. Now you can play a zone. You know what I mean? You could when Shaq was there, you couldn't play no zone. You know what I mean? And I just think that was a big.
Well, I don't think they changed the zone for Shaq.
No.
They changed that for Jordan.
No, you couldn't play a zone until Shaq got into the league, beating everybody up.
But I thought that was when Jordan came back.
No, it was Shaq.
No, the zone came out like during Shaq's time. It was probably like around 2002, 2003.
That's when Jordan came back.
But that was like Wizards Jordan.
Yeah,
that
was the Wizards Jordan.
No, but the thing is, this is why, and you hear stuff, whatever. But because Jordan they knew Jordan couldn't keep up. This is when it came out when they did the zone. They were calling this because of Jordan. They were saying that Jordan, and like you said, mainly you think it's Shaq, but this is what I was hearing. They were saying that Jordan was like, look, for me to come back, because he couldn't move, we have to do a zone so he could play defense. Jordan prideful anyway. Jordan not about to get up and play and then get burnt like, and that's what I was hearing though, that they said, and this was coming up from people like, I don't think it was Peter Vesey at the time, but I'm saying, they were saying this was, Jordan had influenced that more so than Shaq. They put it on Shaq, but it was more so Jordan so he could come back. G. All
right. I agree that Shaq isn't high enough. Iverson isn't high enough. I think that because looking at the rest of the list, they had at number 22 Earl Lloyd, Chuck Cooper, Nat Clifton, Don Barksdale, and Wat Masaka all together. And those were the first players of color to play in the league. Even though people wouldn't want to do it, you have to put Magic and Bird in the same place.
4 or 5, right?
Because because with the NBA, I think I was talking to you about this yesterday.
Yeah.
With the NBA, like people weren't watching it, and especially not live. The finals were on tape delay every year, but because of the national championship they played in, and then them coming into the league, and then Magic, with the 42-15-7 game as a rookie, that game was on tape delay. But going forward, he made it, and Bird made it fashionable to watch basketball on television live. And because people weren't watching it, and they kind of like brought it back, they made it popular. And then going forward, Jordan took it to another level. But those are the guys that brought it back. So they go hand in hand to me.
So I have a question. Do you all think that they put Magic higher? 2 reasons. First of all, with the fast break, the way they were running the fast break, and then you start seeing teams like Run TMC. You saw a lot of teams wanted to emulate, but they couldn't. Let me say this. I know this is bogus, but the AIDS awareness.
I think because it's off the field contributions. I don't think it had nothing to do with it.
But who?
And he's continued to be a part of the
Yeah, because a lot of people did that after him, right?
He worked for $500 million.
But I'm saying, but
stuff that he
did you think people? Do you think people followed him though after that? You think that's what? Because honestly, we hadn't. I mean, besides Jordan, and Jordan was already well on his way of doing that. It wasn't nobody else.
Magic got that smile. Like all of that goes into it. Larry Bird isn't really off the court type of. He's not a sociable personality.
No, right. But I'm saying, how did that change? If you saying the smile, did that change the culture? Did that, because you got people that got jacked up teeth in the NBA
his
that can't smile.
His off the court influence, his endeavors, his. I think that's.
So you think that's what put him higher? Okay,
pushed him up higher.
All right,
that's me personally.
I'm gonna go deeper, and I had this debate when we almost got to blows with D Intellectual. So I think that I'm not saying top 10, but I think it should be higher because I don't even know where he ranked. I think Dirk Nowitzki should be higher.
Stop it.
He ranked 20.
No, wait. I'm gonna tell you why. Let me say why. How you gonna come on my show and get me to stop it? But
stop it.
He ranked 20th too.
Might as well do it. He gave it to me. Look,
he's ranked 20th.
But I'm gonna tell you why after I take it, man. When he give it to me,
stop it.
Still gonna come on my show and get me to stop it. But anyway, I say this. The reason why is because you look at Dirk. Yes, you had Detlef Schrempf. You had Kukoc. Detlef was that's my dude. I like Detlef, but you didn't have Petrovic passed away, so we didn't get to see it. We saw what could have been, but two ways he affected the NBA. First of all, now you finally have this star and a foreign player, but then too,
Sabonis.
No, stop it. He wasn't a star in the NBA. But I'm saying a star playing in the NBA.
Oh, okay.
A star in the NBA.
Petrovic.
And then, but he didn't. That's what I said. He didn't play that long though. But
I'm listening.
But look, Dirk, the star. But then the fact that this guy. So that's when you start seeing abundance of people coming from that. People drafting, foreign players now. But then too, his style of play. A 7-foot guy that could shoot threes like he did. Could play anywhere on the perimeter, still post up. Kevin Durant modeled his game after Dirk. You seen a lot of other teams try to get that tall guy that could shoot threes. So I think he influenced the game a lot because it wasn't that many international players playing.
See, you're saying two things, though. You're saying international players, and then you're saying the taller guys shooting threes.
Well, no, that's what I said, too, though.
Danielle Marshall and all of them was – so KD –
not 7 feet,
listen,
though.
KD was going to do what he was going to do anyway.
You know what? I don't know. What I say is,
but
I think this.
I don't think he should be higher because what else? What off the court?
But listen to what you said about who was it? You said it should be up there besides Magic. It was Shaq. Shaq did. I mean, you say the zone, and that's two things. But what I'm saying is, he changed the landscape of the NBA as far as now you have all of these international players. You didn't have all of these international players playing like it is now.
International players has always been in the league, go ahead. We said, Sabonis, he wasn't a star here, but he was a star overseas. That's why he came. That's why the NBA allowed him to come here because he was good enough.
Everybody was betting on the next one. He just happened to do it.
But on the next one, it was still here, 5 years here, 3 years here. But when Dirk,
story, y'all, you just not thinking about all the names of foreign players.
But listen,
one after Dirk though.
But when Dirk came in what? 2000 what?
20 years ago.
98.
98.
Yeah, 20 years
when Dirk 2000, then next thing you know, you saw an abundance of international players that came in the league.
Okay, but that was happening already. They were still picking them. But let me ask you this.
Not like that.
Name somebody that did it though.
They were picking them, but they
weren't turning into
They
Dirks.
start specifically looking for
I'm not saying, but I'm not. Yeah,
European
but that's
player.
what I'm
but
saying.
They were picking European players,
but not like you didn't see an abundance come in because remember back then you saw like you named Page. I think Page came after Dirk. Page. You saw before Dirk. You saw people like Dino Raja.
You can name a lot. They just didn't have that influence. They didn't score 30,000 points.
But even Darko Milicic, the dude from Denver that was picked like 5th one year, they may have tried, and Dirk was an anomaly.
He was the unicorn before the unicorn.
Right.
So my point is, because he came in and he did what he did, he not only changed with with everybody changing their game, and then the NBA players, not just international, just looking for that 7 feet. Now we got this guy who could shoot behind the arc and do whatever. But now that's why in the All-Star game you have internationals versus the USA. Because if Dirk wasn't that great, or he didn't play, if he wasn't great at all, I don't think we would have saw an abundance. But when he did it, next thing you know, it flooded. And that's all I'm saying.
He's definitely great. He belongs on the list. I just don't think
it's higher
than what you. Yeah. Where did are you saying 15? I might not have an argument.
I'm not saying
how many spots, 2 or 3.
I'm not saying 8, but I think he should
top
be
10.
I think he should be close to. I think he should be like close to top 10, 13 somewhere.
I mean, look at the top 10.
But look,
we're gonna bump out.
We got to take a quick break. We will be right back.
Clarendon, point guard for the Atlanta Dream, and I listen to Mr. Controversy on the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
What it is, what it ain't. This your boy Sherm, host of Face the Music. Join me every Wednesday night for Power Hour, where we intersect the worlds of sports and music, and we do it the best way we can, which is on a Sherm beat. So if you're ready to come through, catch some realness, vibe to some dope sounds, tune in to Face the Music every Wednesday on the 3-Point Conversion station. Let's get it.
What's up? This is Anthony Hamilton, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
Yes, we are live inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. You all are welcome. Kick up your feet, get you some Kool-Aid. We have some Chex Mix. We got some Garrett's popcorn. We got it all in here. And I'm sitting here with my man, The Intellectual.
Yes.
It was that was a great topic, man. I wish it could have went longer, and it didn't. But like I said, it was a lot. We talked about that.
Yeah, we knew it was gonna be like that. I told you, hey man. Let's say this because we was going back and forth,
and Dirk wasn't the only one.
Right, it was a lot of stuff. I had to try to talk him into Bill Russell need to be higher.
Yeah, because I didn't understand the Bill Russell situation and everything like that. But hey, I mean, that's how it is. So, but anyway, we know right now that the Final Four is here. We're finally inside the Final Four in Texas, San Antonio, Texas, I should add. And man, it's been a strange and weird March Madness, NCAA tournament, but I guess that's good, depending on how you look at it. Mm-hmm. But with it being Final Four, you knew we couldn't do this show without our brother. Our expert as far as college basketball, and Mr. Deshaun Tate at Take Sports.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Deshaun?
Yo, what up, man? Appreciate you guys for having me on. I'm so tired, man. My body's still trying to catch up with me a little bit, trying to get some rest. It's been a long season. It's been a long tournament. So your boy's still kind of lounging in the bed a little bit, man, believe it or not. Just, I guess life is going to hit me, man. The whole thing, as far as March Madness, is so surreal. I'm sure it's going to hit me once I walk outside of the door, and especially when I enter the arena, man. But there's just not a better feeling. I'm in San Antonio right now. Just going in yesterday, just the whole building completely empty before the practices started and everything like that. Just knowing that it's completely quiet, but, in less than 24 hours it's going to be, really crazy. And just the whole thought of it all, man, is just a very overwhelming experience because you know, this is the best time of the year. There's only 4 teams left. We started with 68. There's 4 teams left, and you know, it won't be long till there's only one that's going to be cutting down the net. So as much as I love to have it here, you know, I kind of hate it because that means that there's only 2 more days, 3 games total left. So it's an awesome experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is, and I understand you being tired because I think we all were tired when they were in Atlanta. That was but that was a great experience, and it's funny because we complain. I won't lie, I'll say it. God darn it, we all complain about the teams that were playing, and you know, I was like, yo, this is some BS. But man, it turned into great games. We Cinderella, which they don't believe they are, and I definitely want to get into that right now as far as Loyola Chicago. Looking at that matchup and the way Loyola has been playing. Then we look at Michigan, you know, they're athletic and their defense. How do you think these two match up? Like, can it keep going or with Loyola?
Well, you know, I hear a lot of people talking about how bad of a matchup it is for Loyola playing Michigan. And to be honest with you, I really don't think it's that bad of a matchup. I mean, if like the run that Loyola has been on, if they beat Michigan, would it really surprise anybody? I mean, granted, not a shot at Michigan by any stretch of the imagination, but Michigan has been playing really well over the course of, you know, the past, I don't know, let's just go with 6 or 7 weeks or so. And so we've accumulated that and we've put that in our minds and seen how well that Michigan has played. And being Loyola, you know, people say, well, you know, I'm not sure I really want to give Loyola a shot. But if you look at the totality of it all and just Michigan's entire year, you know, at the beginning of the season or midway through the season, if I would have told you Loyola was probably going to beat Michigan, how surprised would you have been? And if I said that these two teams would end up playing in the Final Four and Loyola would win, how, you know, how surprised would you be? So, I think it's one of those things where Mo Wagner obviously has to have a really good game. The big man in the middle for Michigan, who I think is a future NBA pro for sure and should be considered as a first rounder. I think that he could propose some problems. If he's playing well, then Michigan can run away with this thing by a pretty nice size margin. However, I think that's just one of the two things that can happen. I don't think it'll be anything in between. I think Michigan is either going to blow out Loyola or Loyola is going to keep it close. And if Loyola can keep it close in this game, then they definitely have a shot at winning. I'm taking Michigan to win the game, but I do believe that it's going to be a very close game because, you know, Loyola has the experience and maybe not as much up front, where Michigan has the experience up front and not as much in the backcourt. It is definitely a contrast of styles for sure.
Absolutely. And with that being said, if Loyola goes on to win this game and then win it all, do you think that they're the best Cinderella team ever?
Maybe. In terms of what though, I think is the question. In terms of the talent on the roster, or you know, I mean, I think it just kind of depends. We've seen some Cinderella teams that haven't won it all. I mean, Butler came really close to beating Duke in 2010, where it came down to a last buzzer beat, a shot, and Gordon Hayward couldn't make it. But outside of that, I mean, George Mason got far, but they ran into a really powerful Florida team that we didn't know how good exactly Florida was until that run. And I don't know. I'm not really sure that I can say that they would be the best ever. I mean, that NC State team was not a highly regarded, team that was expected to make that kind of run in 1983. And I think it's the same thing with the Villanova team with Ed Pinckney, when they beat Georgetown, in 1985. So I don't know. I think that they're certainly in the conversation amongst those in the top, probably the top 3, top 5 for sure. But I'm not sure that I'm ready to say that they would be, the number one team to, Cinderella to win a national championship. However, I mean, they still have games to be played, so we'll see.
And once again, we're here live with Deshaun Tate from 92.9 The Game. You can follow him at Take Sports on Instagram and Twitter. So with the next game, or the game after that, Kansas going up against Villanova, looking at both teams seem like they're experienced. They have upperclassmen, but Villanova, most of their players played, I think, or some of their players played in the last championship that they were in. So do you think that experience will supersede over Kansas and take them to the finals?
I think that it can. I'm not going to say that it will. But just the fact that they have the experience of winning a national championship 2 years ago and being right here on the same stage, and a lot of those players are still from that team, I think that is a beneficial asset for sure. But I don't want to make a mistake and say that, that's going to have a ton to do with, this game, because although a lot of those players were key components on that team, Daniel Oshefu is not on that team anymore. Ryan Arcidiacono is not on that team anymore. Chris Jenkins, who hit the big shot for Villanova to win the whole thing, is not on that team anymore either. So it is a different team. And in Villanova, I think the worst thing Villanova could do is walk into this game thinking that what they did in 2016 has anything to do with today. And it's the same thing for Kansas. Kansas is an elite program, considering their prestige. They're amongst the best, obviously, historic, arguably in the nation, along with, probably Kentucky and North Carolina and Duke. They won a national championship with Danny and the Miracles in '88, and sure enough, they didn't win one until 20 years later in 2008. And here they are 10 years later in 2018, but, when they won it in 2008, when Mario Chalmers hit the big shot over Calipari's Memphis team, the Final Four hasn't been back to San Antonio since. And here it is, and Kansas is in it again. So how much San Antonio luck rubs off on, Kansas? It's not the same Kansas team, just like the Villanova, point that's made. So at the end of the day, I just think that is going to be a really, really good game. There's some really good matchups there, and two really good coaches. And I think that, this one is pretty as pretty dead even as it can get, and expect it to be a really good game, something we probably haven't seen since Kansas against Duke last week.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, with that being said, of the 4 remaining teams, which players do you think helped their draft stock the most?
I hope it's Jalen Brunson, who just won the Player of the Year from Villanova, but still not even being considered a first round pick. Even, there's so many guys. When we talked about the Trae Youngs and the Colin Sextons and this person and that person that is expected to go in the draft, higher than Jalen Brunson, and he's not nothing crazy with athleticism, and people say he's kind of got that old man game, and there's nothing that really pops out at you about his game, but he's a winner. At the end of the day, he's working on his second national championship, and he's only been in college for 3 years. That's a pretty good resume to have. Oh, yeah, and a Player of the Year to go with that. So I think he does. There's a couple guys. Mo Wagner, I think, from Michigan can boost his up. Charles Matthews, there's potential for him to boost his up a little bit. Kind of remind me of Tim Hardaway Jr. in 2013 when Michigan used to play. Used to play for Michigan. There's a few other guys. I'm trying to think. Sylvia D'Souza. If you think about it, if you look at this Final Four, there's not a ton of one-and-dones here on these teams. Michigan doesn't have a single one-and-done on their team. Neither does Villanova. They don't have. I definitely should go unsaid that Loyola Chicago doesn't have a one-and-done on their team. And Kansas roster, you look at Kansas roster, they usually always have at least one with Wiggins or Embiid or whoever, whatever. But I'm not sure if they have one. Well, they've got a guy named Sylvia D'Souza who's really technically a high school senior. He reclassified this year and only got a chance to play the second half of the season, and he's been really, really big for them. So we're talking about a kid who's like 17 years old-ish and has an opportunity. So him playing up front with Udoka Azubuike can potentially be really big because Kansas is really thin up front. And Azubuike is 7 feet tall, close to 300 pounds. So, he's a man in the middle, and if there's too much attention paid on him, that's where D'Souza can come in and find himself available for some easy production. And if that happens with all the NBA scouts and everyone else, under that one roof here in San Antonio, he's going to be considered. His draft stock is going to rise, that's for sure.
All right. So before we let you go, we have to ask you this. You can do it in maybe 30 seconds. Who's winning it all?
I think the winner of that second game between Kansas and Villanova is winning it all. I've kind of tossed this thing around back and forth, and I can't even really believe that I'm going against Villanova, to be honest with you, because that's very tough to do. And I haven't been a believer in Kansas like that, to be honest. But I don't know. I'm going to roll with Kansas. I mean, if Kansas doesn't win it, obviously, you have to go with Villanova, and it's really a last-second decision. But I think I'm a roll with Kansas. I don't really want to be honest, but I'm kind of feeling Kansas right now.
All right, there you have it, my man Deshaun Takes Sports at Take Sports on Instagram and Twitter. Anywhere else where we can find you and follow you? I know I just gave that, but anywhere else?
No, that's it, man. I just appreciate you guys for coming or for having me. I know that it's a little bit of a tongue twister with the Instagram and social media handle, but I appreciate every single follow and just every single person that's supporting, man, and keeping me in their prayers. That's it, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
What's good, family? I'm Marlon Sucker Free Jones of Sucker Free Life LLC, and I'm locked in every Saturday to the best sports show on the planet, the 3-point conversion, where no team or no player is off limits. So let's talk sports, the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and everything in between. Can you dig that?
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now.
You can tune in to this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone.
Android.
BlackBerry.
Nokia.
Samsung.
Windows phones.
Or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com.
Or your app store.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzzed driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, what's going on, sports fans? It's your boy Damian Adams from The Real Deal with Damian Adams. Now, you can catch my show on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time here on the 3-Point Conversion Station. But for right now, I'm listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with my man, Mr. Controversy. Always keeping it real, always keeping it raw. I can't miss out on this on my Saturday mornings, so keep it locked to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Here's with Mr. The Intellectual.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Controversy right here. Getting ready for this next segment, What's on My Mind? And the segment is brought to you by Sucker Free Life LLC. Make sure you live your truth for the world to see, because everyone can be sucker free. Purchase your apparel today exclusively at facebook.com/Sucker Free Life LLC. Again, this next segment is called What's on My Mind. And this is that segment. If this is your first time listening, watching, or whatever, this is that segment where we like to go in and, talk about what's been bothering us, what's, giving us that I don't know or I don't understand. Or maybe they're tripping or bugging or however you use your language. I mean, I just don't agree with it or whatever. It's kind of like we don't call venting because man don't vent, but just let me holler at you for a second. So, with the situation that just happened with LeBron passing MJ, and honestly, being an MJ fan, probably the biggest MJ fan, that's what I like to think. You don't like that. You don't like anybody passing your, whether it's your hero, your favorite player, whatever. You don't like that. But I have to give Mr. James his props. And I usually don't do this because I'm not a LeBron James fan at all. But thinking about his career, and maybe Kobe, you could say Bird or Magic, but maybe Kobe, but I don't even think it's Kobe. I've never witnessed a player, and maybe in sports, that lived up to his potential like LeBron did. As D Intellectual said earlier, he was a prodigy. I mean, this guy was followed since he was 6 years old, something like that. And coming up in high school, and they did a story on him, a documentary on him while he was playing, because they knew this guy was special. I think he was the first guy. I think they showed Kobe's game, but for them to show multiple games of LeBron in high school and then see LeBron in high school do it in between the legs dunk in the game. Like, come on. His rookie season, first game of the year, is on prime time. And he come in and don't fail anyone. He does what he's supposed to do. Incredible. He goes through some mishaps. I understand that. And I was a big, I was that guy that really gave it to LeBron. You know what I'm saying? I was a big critic. And I thought he should play better. He should be better. I always felt like LeBron could be better, which is scary. LeBron could be the best player ever. He's not, but I had to throw that in. But either or, but when I look at his body of work, man, and what he's done on the court, we know off the court, amazing. But on the court, he's the truth. I mean, you can't argue. I don't care if you hate him or not. Just look what he's done. Look at the pressure. Some of that pressure he's caused on himself, but yet still he's bounced back. And to me, I've always said with boxing, and this is life period, but with boxing, you look at a Muhammad Ali and the way he lost his belts, then came back and won them again. It's not really about being on top, but what happens when you do get knocked down. And you look at LeBron and how he got knocked down and he lost in Miami, how he looked horrible, was scared to shoot, but he came back, won the championship 2 in a row. Then went to Cleveland and won the championship. So when you look at what he's done and everything that's came with it, all of the hoopla, the drama, the media, yet still he's risen to the occasion, and he's even this year with this is probably his worst year yet as far as what's been going on with his team, and yet still he's having one of the best seasons ever, in his career. So, I'm shouting out to LeBron. I'm not a fan, not rooting for you, but I'm gonna be real. You did your thing. You doing your thing, and like I said, it was one of the moments, man. I was just driving. I ain't had nothing to think about, and I just started thinking about it. So I ain't want my mind to go there, but so that's what it is. That's what's on my mind.
Man, you got to give him his props. Like you said, you may not be a fan. You may not like him personally or whatever the case. I don't know why people would say personally, because you don't.
Yeah, I don't like him. Right. Yeah, nothing like that.
Some of the moves you make, but I can't deny greatness. Probably gonna definitely go down top 3 player ever. And, you know, it is what it is. I mean, look what he doing in his 15th season, man. You see them dunks he did on New Jersey, Brooklyn Nets, man.
Yeah.
He's just going through the middle, just like. So, yeah, man, definitely going to get his props. But, you know, hey, he probably going to go down, what I said, one of the, what he had, 30,000 points now, right? 30,000 and 8,000 assists or something like that. It's probably going to be 35, 10, and 8 or something.
Right.
Like, first player ever. And that probably will never be touched again.
Never. Right.
That's what's up, man. Definitely a good thing on your mind. You know me, I always got to go a little different, take it somewhere else. What's on my mind today, it doesn't have anything to do with sports. It's more so about life. So I'm just going to name some names. Stephon Clark. Alton Sterling. Akil Dinkins. Gregory Gunn. Samuel Du Bois. Brandon Glenn. Freddie Gray. Natasha McKenna. Walter Scott. Sandra Bland, Laquan McDonald, Christian Taylor, Mike Brown, Ezeal Ford, Eric Gardner, Akai Gurley, Tamir Rice, Vet Smith, Jamar Clark, Rika Boyd. That's just a few names of black people that's been killed by police. The most recent is Stephon Clark. He got shot 8 times. They shot over 20 times, but he was hit 8 times. And the autopsy came out, 8 bullets to the back. It's the same, within the same week that it comes out that Alton Sterling killers aren't going to be prosecuted at all. They say that first, and then the next day they released the video. In the video, the police officer walks up to him and tells him he'll blow his MFing head off and calls him the B word, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Puts the gun to his head. You can hear Alton Sterling saying, "What did I do? What's going on here? What did I do? What's going on here?" So all this going on, they get him on the ground, and it's a perfect picture. Both of his hands is up while he's on the ground. Then the shots rang out. They're not prosecuting. Of course, we're going to have to wait and see what they're going to do with Stephon Clark's murderers. What's on my mind is I'm just tired. You know what I mean? What do? You have video of it, and it still doesn't help. I think not a bigger issue, but a thing that I do want to point out, the Somalian police officer in, I believe it's Minnesota, he actually got charged with murder this week for killing the Australian woman. So it kind of seems like, and then I saw in the news where, at one point when he was being brought, when they were talking about him, they brought up his background. But usually when a black person get killed by a police officer, they're bringing up the person that was killed background as opposed to the police officer's background. But it only fits the narrative when it's a black person. So it doesn't matter if the black person is the victim or is actually the police officer. Whoever is the black person is the one that's going to have their background brought up to criminalize them, so that when they go to court or when it's time for them to be charged, they'll be charged, and the public will look at it like this is what's supposed to happen. It's sad. We see it every day. It's almost to the point where people are being numb to it, and I don't mean just us as people, but the United States. It's just like, okay, it happened again. We're gonna move on, protest for a minute, be mad for a minute, and then in a few months it'll happen again. Man, that's what's on my mind. I just hope something does come from Stephon Clark being murdered in cold blood in his grandmother's backyard.
And I want to say this. It's, and I hear you saying you tired, and there's a lot of us tired, but this is the time where we got to, wake out of that and get out of that. I know it's tiring, but we got to get up and we got to do something. And then you hear a lot of people get upset when it goes into the sports world, whatever. This is the whole reason. I mean, this is, sports. And I talked about that earlier, how with the Final Four, how it this is a time where it's supposed to bring you, take you away from the world, which sometimes is good for us, but that's why we use this platform. That's why we need to bring awareness to it, so we don't get numb and we don't, just look at it as, okay, there you go, and it shouldn't be like that, and that's horrible, but that's why it's funny, I always talk about every show at the end, and I'll say it today, I thank God for this platform, but it's not just for the platform of sports or whatever, but it's to, get people's attention, to Absolutely. Share everything, to, help this be a better place, you know what I'm saying, for my people, and then for the world afterwards, but still, it's
all together, as you said, because after I leave this show, after you leave this show, after we walk out this building, we black men in society, and we may have to deal with any of that. Right.
And it sucks. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. It's the truth. What we say on the show, we shame the devil, we tell the truth, and it's the truth. So, but like I said, we got to find a way. I'm still trying to find a way, what I could do to help a situation. But like I said, man, it's jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Thank God we're on radio, because I can't say what I want to say. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we're just going to give a quick moment of silence for all those people that he did mention. And, sign off.
That I didn't miss.
Yeah, and we'll sign off like that.
WWE AM 1100. The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app. iHeartRadio. Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at GoCoastGuard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Georgia Association of Broadcasters and this station.
What's going on, world? This your boy Vincent J, a.k.a. the Fantasy Guru. And do you know what time it is? It's time for the Stop It segment, right here on the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. I want to thank everybody who's following the 3 Point Conversion and giving us support, and who's following the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. If you're listening right now, you're live right now, looking at us on Facebook Live, we definitely appreciate you. And, hey, hats off to you. And I also want to give a special shout out to my man Kobe, who's should be sitting in the chair right now at Senica's Barbershop. I see you, sir. You probably don't see me. And I mean, he's a fan of Atlanta teams, soccer and all of that, man. So we shout out to you. And he's even training on MMA. And I hear that he's training, but he's always taking the hits. So what's up, Dwayne? But anyway, it is now time for the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it. All right, D, I'm going to let you go up first.
Yes. So my stop it this week is going to go to KG. And the other part of the Celtics that's still holding on to that Ray Allen stuff. Reason they need to stop it is because, man, I saw the Ray Allen had an interview on First Take. He spoke on how he was the last one to get paid, and he had to take consideration for his family. And by the time he was, he was one of the last to sign. So it was late in free agency, so he needed to do what he had to do. So that's why he couldn't call them. He couldn't do this. The point is to win the championship. He won one in 08 with the Celtics. He wanted to stay there. They did what they did. They paid who they paid. He had to move on to Miami, and again, won a championship, did the best thing for his family. I understand that you get mad for a minute and you don't dap him up. You let that be that. But man, y'all brothers, and that's so old now. That ain't nobody even thinking about that no more. Y'all can leave that alone. So just get him a stop it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Oh, gee. I guess G feeling some way. You know what? Hey, we were just having a discussion, and I used to always say, and I'm going to make it quick because I know we got to go to the next segment, but I thought that, I understood him. I understood how it is because I've been there. Matter of fact, I had a situation where my little brother, when I moved to Atlanta, I didn't want to let him know. This is, my god brother.
Right.
Shout out to Fella, that's what we call him, Fella. Shout out to Fella. But anyway, and I couldn't tell him because this guy, we were tight, looked up to me, you know what I'm saying? We were just tight like that. And when it came down, I couldn't tell him, and I didn't. I don't know if that was the reason for Ray, but I know I couldn't.
Right.
And then and he found out some other way.
I mean,
he was sick, but he let it. Yeah, he let it go quick.
Right,
but I'm just saying, I felt them, but I'm with you now. Yeah. It's
I feel it in the game, man. Bump you, for a year or a little time. Okay, but man, go.
Y'all brothers, time to let that go, man. I mean, they acting like they playing spades or something. Like he reneged.
Right. Like he lost his
like he reneged
championship hand.
Yeah, come on, man. I ain't talking about brotherhood. No,
and he won a championship on y'all. That's what they salty about. Right. He hit that shot on him. That's why they really
spades. Can't get mad like that. Yeah. All right, let me make this quick. So my stop it moment goes to hey man, I don't even want to bring up this guy's name just because I'm gonna say it anyway. Whatever. So y'all know the big guy. I'm not even gonna say his name. The big guy with the hat that's on Fox, and he's with Colin Hurd,
no,
whatever.
Just don't like you
but
said.
Anyway, he said, "I'll let you say it because I'm not gonna say it."
What
his name?
I don't.
You don't want to say it either.
I don't like.
But anyway,
at all.
You want to say it, G?
No, I just call him a clown.
Okay,
there you go.
So he said that Johnny Manziel is a role model. That's what he said, right?
Kaepernick should follow.
Yeah, he's a role model. Should follow. Colin Kaepernick should follow Johnny Manziel because Johnny Manziel is a role model. The way he's going about it, the way he's going about coming back. Can I get
stop it, stop it, stop it,
keep going,
stop it, stop it, stop it.
And if you watch FS1, and you know who we talking about,
right? You should.
Know what I mean, he done been in enough controversy,
right.
With the Kaepernick jerseys. The
and
dude coming up,
and
with
it's
the
like he's
thing.
picking on
that's
Kaepernick.
What doing, but I like what Kari Champion did. She did something on Instagram where she, Steve Jack posted it where she talked about them too. Johnny Manziel and Kaepernick. Like, why is this even an issue? Johnny Manziel's played 6 games.
Exactly. What's your name's been to a Super Bowl
and NFC Championship. 2 NFC Championships.
Not only that, and we'll end it like this. Johnny Manziel came out and said,
"Yes,
that
don't stop comparing us. Stop
putting us out because we're not.
Kaepernick is out here doing great things.
I'm messing up.
I'm messing up. I'm just trying to get back.
Come on, man. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up.
Can
we get another one?
Stop it.
All right, man. We're gonna end it like that. We're gonna be right back, and we're gonna talk some NFL. rule changes, OBJ and all of that. Keep it locked.
OBJ.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter.
It'll be home to 942 bursts of laughter, a 16-pound blackened turkey dinner, and the loudest burp on record. It will see its fair share of broken windows, broken bones, and broken hearts. But first, you have to find it. Start your home search at Zillow.com or on our family of apps. You can view millions of photos, browse historical pricing data, and even sign up for alerts when new homes hit the market. Zillow. Find your way home.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Here live in the studios.
It's been a great Saturday, too.
Yep.
Good news out here today.
We have The Intellectual. We have Kyle Clinton Nail back, the Battlegrounds champ.
Yes, sir.
And, man, so y'all have any big plans this weekend?
Actually, yeah. Shout out to one of my homies, Fresh. He actually, his father opening up a Maxwell Polish shop, like from Chicago.
Mhm.
He opening one up today, the grand opening. So,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
going over there. It's 211 Peachtree Street, Southwest.
Okay. That's what's up. Kyle, what you got going on, man?
Just here visiting family, man. Down here supporting my nephew, having a baby shower. So I'm here doing that and sitting in with my childhood friend on the stage. Just enjoying life, man. Thanking God for family.
Right. Yeah.
And friends.
That's what it is, yeah. I'm going to be with family. It's funny because we have this little dinner. We have this dinner together with family. And growing up, we always had to be forced to do things and everything. My father, because my father was the pastor, go to my grandmother's church. Come on, baby, I want you to go sing. And so I hated that. I hated that, man, and all that. So I don't like being forced. But turns out, first time I didn't want to do it. And then we had a great time. It was cool, being with family. And it's funny because even though being in church, to me, I don't know, maybe I looked at it like that. I don't know. But Easter I never looked at Easter as like, are we going to see family? I mean, we were just.
Did that every week.
Yeah, we just ate, whatever. So to see that here is like, and then I just found out you're supposed to eat fish on Good Friday. I ain't know that.
Yeah, you are.
I ain't never heard that before. But
fish and spaghetti every Friday.
See, they don't know about fish and spaghetti. They don't know about that.
Change it up from Good Friday.
I be telling them about it.
Friday.
They be like, no, spaghetti a whole nother.
Nah, they don't know.
Man, we eat fish and spaghetti, man.
No,
we around here eating good,
sweet spaghetti too.
Really,
but
right.
anyway,
Good.
So look. All right, so we're about to talk about this NFL rules, and it's a lot going on with this. A lot of confusion, almost off one rule, but even a few rules. And D, man, I'm gonna let you go on and take this and what
absolutely
what's bothering you about this?
I think the biggest thing is the 15-yard penalty for using the crown of your head, and it may cause an ejection. We're trying to make sure everybody are being safe, but even the head of officiating, the guy that be on Fox, Mike Pereira. Yeah, he even said this is going to be a catastrophe. You know what I mean? So if a running back is running and he lowers his head, it's a 15-yard penalty. He gonna get ejected. So you cannot use you can't lower your shoulders. Pretty much, that's pretty much what they're coming down to, and that's huge, man. That's huge. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I do not like that. I understand, again, us saving the players is huge because we talk about and we see what happens to these players as they get older from getting hit in the head. So I get that. I get us trying to protect them. I get, going through the middle and the Vontaze Burfict plays and all of that. I get that. But come on, man.
I usually don't speak that name amongst football fans, that Burfict name, being a Steelers fan. But yes, definitely that. But I think it's going to be more difficult because these players, it's not like we're talking about the kids that's coming up now where you can train them now. We're talking about players that's been in the league for 8 to 10 years, especially a running back. That's your natural reaction is when somebody's coming to hit you is to put your head down, cover up. You've been taught that since day one.
Right.
So we're going to have a lot of ejections. We're going to have a lot of injuries because you can't practice that in practice because you can't have contact anymore.
Yep.
So,
and it's trying to change a running back's running style that's what's going to make it difficult. And I feel like there's going to be a lot more fumbles because if players can't lower their head to even cover up, then the ball's going to get swiped at, and there's going to be a loose ball on the field is already chaos anyway. Mm-hmm. If you ask players what happens under those piles.
Well,
but you're asking people to change what they've been doing for at least 10 years. And, it's not a great rule.
So let me ask you this. If the rule is messed up, but if they're trying to clean up the rule, do you think, it's got to start some way. They have to, it's going to take something like this, or should they have took it, piece by piece. You know what I'm saying? What other way could they have changed it though? And I'm not saying I don't agree with you all because I do. But what way?
The offensive side though, you know what I mean?
I don't get that.
That's what I was saying about Mike Pereira. What was he saying? It's impossible to officiate.
Right.
He said you're probably gonna see a lot of after the fact plays or after the game is over. Here's a $10,000 fine for this, or how can you if I'm a running back, I get the ball. What's the first thing I do? Think about what was Hayward, the running back,
Ironhead Hayward.
What his Ironhead? What did he do?
He lowered. He was
he lowered it. Yeah, even
Earl Campbell wouldn't be in the NFL. Wouldn't be a Hall of Famer.
It's still some big backs now. LeGarrette Blount. He lowered his shoulder.
Ezekiel Elliott. Mm-hmm. Really, outside of Davion Bell, the Marlon McKinnon, the guys like that,
they lowering it, and then you got to look at it. Also, let's think. Now, I don't want to say bigger picture, but let's think beyond just lowering your helmet. They're lowering their pads.
Yeah,
right.
So when you lower your pads, now what if somebody come from a different way and they happen to hit your head?
Now wait, is it because now they say you can't lower your helmet? Is it more of, and again, you all can call in at 404-603-8770. Again, it's 404-603-8770 to weigh in. So is it, because I heard that, it's targeting, but if a player is looking for it, he's making contact as well, is it still considered targeting?
It's a vague rule.
And that's what they're doing now. They're still
trying to understand.
They're still trying to fix it right now.
This stuff happens in split seconds.
Based on
it, you catch a slant.
It is
you come across the middle. That's the first.
Based on it, it is now foul when a player lowers his head to initiate and make contact with his helmet against an opponent.
That's
okay. Now
crazy.
that's clear. If I can say that, playing high school football, you leading with your helmet just like this. That's a spear. You can stop that. They can teach you that. They can teach you that right now. As far as leading with your shoulder pad, that's where the issue comes in with me. Because if you coming in with your shoulder pad and that offensive, defensive player is coming at you and you just happen to turn or whatever, you're going to be head to head. So there's nothing that you can do as far as
Well, it's also going to be questionable even with that, to where there are some in college football with their targeting penalty. It would seem like some defensive players are leading with the shoulder to make a hit, but the helmet to helmet contact is incidental. But that's also like cloudy, because they can also still be called for targeting, even though they were clearly leading with the shoulder. Just because there was helmet contact, that can make it a penalty, and that can be the same issue in the NFL.
Well, I had a chance to be in a conference call with the NFL committee with Rich McKay and the safety. I can't think of his name right now.
Troy Vincent. And the cornerback. And they asked, they actually talked about how another rule that was that they were trying to implement. I think it was the Giants, but they were trying to implement to have them do instant replay on those type of hits. So that way, I guess like college. So that way, if it is targeting, they could go back. It would slow the game down, but they could go back and they can see if it was, because like you said, it's hard to define that when I'm going with my shoulder, especially when the guy is ducking. He catches a split second. He ducks his head. You've already made your move, and it's like, how can you define that? Yeah. But look, so this last rule, so they talked about the 25-yard. They kept that. We really don't have to go. I don't like that, but the touchback, and Kyle, I want you to make real quick. I want you to make your argument on that as far as it's a touchback. If it's a touchback on the kickoff, it's down to 25. They made that permanent. So I want your argument on that.
As
quickly.
Far as the kickoff return goes, I think taking that away takes away the player. You won't have an Eric Metcalf, Devin Hester, Deontay Hall, Sproles. These type of players that made their life in the league with just doing returns. You take that away, that whole aspect away. Kicking, like with the kicking game, you're taking kids out of that aspect of playing college football or high school football that their parents don't want them to do anything but kick. There's no reason to do that.
But with them saying that, like, they want to make the kickoff a safer play, but do you
absolutely?
I mean, I may be with you there towards. I don't see to where like these crazy injuries happen on kickoffs. I understand like them taking away, like, if you remember the wedge, they took away that, but to take away the kickoff return, like I don't think that it calls for it.
It's the one where where they always say keep your head on the swivel.
Yeah,
it's those plays. The guy,
but those don't happen on kickoffs. Those happen more so.
I don't think those.
Those happen on punts.
I mean, I agree, but and like you said, you taking away possibly a Hall of Famer in Devin Hester that would never even be in conversation of probably
wouldn't even
football.
Be on the field.
Yeah, because his
hands is
so look, the last, and we're really not going to go over this, but the last one was they're talking about the catch, and now basically it's they've changed it a little bit. They tweaked it. Now, if you make a football move, you have half possession, and you make a football move. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I wanted to say something about that.
Oh, go ahead.
To where the I think it was Dean Blandino, one of the former head of officiating, he said that with that rule change, it's just going to change the debate on what is a catch, as far as what is a football move rather than what's a catch.
Yep.
Because before a football move was, does he go step this way or step this way?
And now
so basically,
so it's going to be unclear what a football move actually is.
So basically, it was just
it's
this
up
whole
to debate what was a football move.
So this whole meeting they had was just nothing. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. So with man, that's why I hate not having enough time. But anyway, we have to talk about this OJB segment. I know we don't have that much time, but quickly, was it the GM or owner? GM came out and was like, he's not safe. I mean, we could.
They said everybody.
We're not going to trade. Everybody.
One dude, and I forgot.
But we're not going to trade him. We're not saying we're trading him, but we are listening. Like he's not, untouchable. Mm-hmm. Also, OBJ came out. Odell Beckham Jr., if you don't know, came out and said that you know what? I'm not stepping out on a field at all until I get extended contract.
Right.
Agreed. Do y'all agree?
About if he'll step out on the field?
Yeah, what he's doing.
No, he need that money. When you miss them game checks,
if they give me 2 first-round draft picks, I'm trading them.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, he can go.
Well, he's going out there without any security. Like he wants that extension.
I agree with
I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with the money part.
That's why I agree. Like if I'm not going
previously
out there without any security.
Right.
Like basically next year he's a free agent, but like I want the security that I'm going to be on somewhere next year before I go out on the field right now.
The problem with that is that you're getting caught in France with
stay off
that in your
Snapchat.
hand and cocaine over there on the plate with a model. Like, do the model thing. I ain't tripping on that. Do that. But why are you on video with cocaine or any type of drug anywhere near you?
No, yeah, that's crazy. Now, to his defense, he can't say, did y'all see me smoke the cocaine?
But
was the cocaine in front of me?
He had a brown cigarette in between his fingers.
We all know that in this league, it's not about...
Yeah, no, right.
It's association. You cannot be on video doing that.
Right. So here are a couple of teams that are interested. Well, these are the teams right now that's very interested in him. So you have the San Francisco 49ers. They just joined. They say they're very interested. You have the Los Angeles Rams. You have the Seattle Seahawks, basically the whole NFC West. Yeah. The Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts. Quickly, we have like a minute.
Put him on the Browns. Put him over there with Josh Gordon.
They got Landry already.
Ooh, yeah, but put Landry in the slot.
Ooh, with Tyrod.
Stop it.
And Saquon Barkley.
Stop it. Tyrod ain't going to be able to get the ball to these
we
people.
Tyrod
you taking something off Tyrod?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Taylor?
Man, look at his numbers, man. Please.
That's what I'm looking at.
His numbers not good. To me, they don't tell the truth.
I'm talking about the accuracy of hitting these people on the...
Man, look at his numbers, man. He got one of the best touchdown interception ratio, one. And other than that, he's top 7 in
15 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. But my team would be the Rams, of course, with all that heat over there.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be nice.
Or San Francisco.
What you think, G?
I would. I think the Browns. It can work.
Yeah,
it can work. It can. I know it's Cleveland.
I mean, you hate to say the Browns.
The best fit is the Rams. Yeah. They have Watkins. They have
Watkins is gone. They got Woods,
and Farrell Cooper, and
not only that, they have a running back, a great defense.
They got a quarterback that's playing better, and you have an offensive coordinator who can put him in the best position.
Yeah. Let me say this about back to OBJ getting caught with all that. When we get up and we, nationally syndicated and all this, you can't have your phone. You can't be video recording. Like, none of that, man. Like, no.
Don't make sense.
We are nationally syndicated. Let them know. But anyway, yeah, I'm with you all, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm biased. I wish I could see him with Russell Wilson, but they need a better offensive coordinator. They need a line. You're right, but that would be nasty.
Now.
That would probably be the best quarterback.
They need everything.
Yeah, but that would be the best quarterback that in this group.
Garoppolo, Goff.
He better than Garoppolo. He's better than Goff.
Tyrod Taylor.
He's better than them. But I agree. I like Seattle. Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, but
you don't have anybody protect Seattle.
You.
Right. I'm with you. So look, we're gonna take a quick break and we will be right back.
Yo, what's up? This your boy Marcus Banks to the Big Three of the Ghost Ballers. You listening to the Sports Lounge with my main man, Mr. Controversy.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green, the iconic cleaning formula known around the globe. Try a Simple Green product today, and if you're not 100% satisfied, I'll refund your money. Visit us at simplegreen.com.
Sit back with me, the baseball antagonist. Pull up your favorite chair, grab a drink, and listen as Mr. Controversy helps us relax with his sports knowledge in the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, right here on the 3-Point Conversion Station.
Yeah, that team is a coach killer.
Oh, yes, we are here inside a 3-Point Conversion.
Back in the building.
Sports Lounge, still debating about Rod Taylor and all of that.
You know it.
So, right now, this is the Major League Baseball segment.
Yes,
we have to talk some baseball.
Let's get into it. It's baseball season.
It's baseball season.
Thursday.
I'm not. Yeah, that was weird. But I like it though because I'm tired. I didn't like.
It used to start on Sunday night, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't like the I don't like the Sunday nights where one team or two teams playing one game because that takes away from opening
day.
Like
yeah. Thursday, I was able to watch all of it.
Yeah, I don't like NFL with the Thursday night kickoff. I don't even like that. I miss the old days when it was this kickoff. I mean, I don't like the first game of the season like that. I just like kickoff Sunday. I
don't like Thursday night games. They're hardly ever real big games. It's like
they're not really good.
49ers against.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the first game of the season.
I'm just talking overall.
Yeah, overall, right? True. But anyway, baseball and it's back, and I'm excited, and and we have to bring in our baseball expert, which you just heard on that drop, Mr. Ben Wilson, baseball antagonist himself. What's going on, Ben?
Hey, what's happening, boys?
We're good.
Good morning
man.
out here in California.
You said what?
I said it's a good morning out here in California.
So it's like 5 in the morning where you are. We appreciate you coming on, man. We appreciate you coming on.
No, I appreciate you guys having me.
No problem, man. So, look, we want to get to it, and like I said, it was a great opening day. It's been some great games. Like we had the 17 inning loss by the Cubs. They lost to Miami Marlins, but we're seeing a lot of games. Atlanta, we got to talk about our home team, Atlanta Braves. They've had 2 games that gone in extra innings. They lost one and then they won one with a home run. They won the first one. But it's been some good games. I want to ask you, in the American League with the Yankees, with Giancarlo Stanton, Judd, and all the rest of those guys in the pinstripes, with all the hoopla going on, are they the team to beat, or is it still the Houston Astros?
They're still a really young team for the most part. I think when they were built over the last couple of years, no one really expected them to be this good right now. I think really 2019 was more the target date. Last year they definitely exceeded expectations with Sanchez and Judge and everybody. Now you bring over Stanton and all the excitement and everything that's going to surround him. I've seen a lot of people predicting is the over-under on team home runs 300. If Judge and Sanchez both hit 50, it's definitely possible, although probably unlikely. I still think their pitching staff is going to be – they still have question marks there. Sonny Gray, and again, I'm a big Oakland A's fan, so I've seen him up close and personal the last few years. I'm not sure that you can rely on him health-wise. CC Sabathia is aging. I still think they're either 1 or 2 pitchers away from being able to really compete. Honestly, Houston's still going to be the odds-on favorite with Cleveland right there as well. I think this really could be the year that the Cleveland Indians kind of a make-it-or-break year. I think that you're going to see them make a move or two at the trade deadline in July to kind of fill holes that they need, assuming that Encarnacion doesn't age kind of like Jose Bautista did, kind of like overnight. I definitely think the Cleveland Indians will be right there. And, let's not discount the Boston Red Sox, which have been the division winners the last couple of years. And, they brought in J.D. Martinez to kind of help with the power. And I'm not 100% certain that the Yankees are even going to win their division. I honestly, personally, I would put Boston ahead of the Yankees at this point.
Okay.
Absolutely. That was definitely a good segue. What do you think is the toughest division in the National League?
Honestly, I would probably put it at the National League West. I know you got the Cubs, you got the Cardinals, and the Pirates have dismantled themselves. I think the Brewers are kind of hit or miss. I definitely think that the Cubs and the Cardinals are going to duke it out as they typically do. Washington is ahead of the rest of that pack. I think Atlanta's still a year or two away. Philadelphia obviously brought in Arrieta, but they're probably a year or so away. They brought in Martinez. I know they're going to make a big run on Machado and Harper, if not both, next offseason. But there's, unless the Mets pitching staff, and this is a big, big asterisk, can stay healthy all year, the Nationals are going to run away with that division. So that leaves us with the West, where you have the Dodgers, but you had Arizona and Colorado, who both were in the wild card game last year. The Giants had a lot of expectations. Now with Bumgarner injured, Samar just started the year on the DL, but they brought in McCutchen and Longoria. They're a very old team, but experienced team. So I definitely think the Padres are probably another. They've got a lot of talent in the pipeline, so they're probably another 2 years away as well. Padres, Braves, those are the National League teams that are probably Phillies that'll be back in a year or two. But for now, you definitely could see the Dodgers, the Rockies, and the Diamondbacks duking that out all year and playing all meaningful games in mid to late September this year.
Very good. Who should we expect to be the breakout team this year in the majors?
It's kind of funny. Now, this is going to be a homer pick because I'm a big Oakland A's fan, and they've got a phenomenal young lineup. I look at their pitching staff and go, wow, there's a lot left to be desired in that pitching staff, but I don't think you can discount them at all. As far as, a team that might be a little bit more on the radar, the Minnesota Twins made the playoffs last year. I definitely think that with some of their additions, they brought in Lance Lynn. They definitely could be a team that the Indians should be looking over their shoulder at. The Twins are probably, again, another season or two away from being strong competitors, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if they don't make a little bit of noise going into the postseason. Again, the Phillies are right there. If the Phillies, the Braves, the Padres, if any of those teams have that step forward like the Yankees did last year, where they're kind of a year or two ahead of schedule, we definitely could be talking about any number of teams, as we go into September, especially now that new wild card format where you have two teams, it allows, there's a lot of, in economics term, like a false market. You have a lot of teams that think they're competitors in July that probably aren't. You saw that with the Kansas City Royals last year. They're adding pieces, even though half their team was slated to be a free agent. And they bring in players, and it's like, wait a minute, you guys have won your World Series. You guys are not going to compete this year. Why aren't you selling off those free agents to be? And so I think that second wild card is creating that false sense of, hey, we're competitors. And granted, you get in there, you win a game, and, who knows? Baseball is probably the one sport where the best team hardly ever wins the World Series.
No, that's true. And once again, we're here live with Mr. Ben Wilson, the baseball antagonist, baseball expert for the three-point conversion. Which player should we keep an eye out on, that you think will hit stardom?
There's a lot of guys, that have been up and coming. What's fun about sports right now, basketball has that same thing. There's a lot of guys that are young and really, really good. When we look around, the Carlos Correas and Machado and Harper are still only like 25, 26 years old. Trout just turned 26. There's a lot of talent that is Hall of Fame potential talent right on the cusp of that 27 to 31-year-old window. We're going to expect big things out of Francisco Lindor in Cleveland. When you want to talk about the hype machine, of course, Ohtani out in Los Angeles with the Angels, this two-way player, what's he going to be? He had a terrible spring, and he takes the first pitch he sees in the regular season into right field for a single. So he's batting 1,000. As a card collector, it's kind of funny because you start to see the cards jump or decline as players do well. or don't do well. So all of a sudden Ohtani is this great thing. All his cards are selling for a tremendous amount of money. He has a bad spring and they start to decline. Then he gets a hit and they jump back up. So you're going to see this hype machine with Ohtani all year long. He's slated to make his first major league start tomorrow. And I think the Angels, what they're going to do is they're not going to play him at DH the day before or the day after. So in other words, he's not going to play today as DH because he's pitching tomorrow. I don't know if he's going to be your breakout star to answer your question, but he's definitely going to be the guy that everybody's going to have eyes on all year to kind of see. It's just one of those things. It's like a train wreck. It's going to be fun to watch, even though there's probably going to be much, much better storyline somewhere else.
Yeah, I think everybody's looking to see what he does. That's the big story, right? I mean, all eyes will be on him tomorrow. So, Ben, we definitely appreciate you for coming on, sir. And please let us know where we can find you and follow you, sir.
Well, I plan to get my keyboard back out and start writing more for the three-point conversion this season. So you'll be able to check out the baseball section at the threepointconversion.com and find some of my writings throughout the year. And you can always find me on Twitter at our trading cards, our trading cards.
There you have it, Mr. Ben Wilson, the baseball antagonist. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
My sister Katie and I are bargain hunters.
But my sister Kelly showed me an article that made me change a really bad habit. I used to buy bargain knockoffs on the street.
You mean counterfeit merchandise?
And this can lead to more Americans losing their jobs.
So, no more buying fakes, right?
Right, just honest bargain hunting.
Counterfeits hurt, but you have the power to stop them. Go to www.ncpc.org/getreal. Brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council and the Bureau of Justice Assistance, U.S. Department of Justice.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
What's up? This is Justin Gibbons, defensive back, Montreal Alouettes, and I'm just kicking back listening to that three-point conversion radio with my boy, Mr. Controversy.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
Welcome back.
The intellectual Mr. Controversy. We have a studio guest in Mr. Kyle Clinton Nail. We got my man G. It's another great Saturday for sports, the day before Easter.
It's going to be beautiful tomorrow, too. It's supposed to be like 70-something.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. I just can't wait till tonight, man. Like I said, I have a beautiful dinner with my family, eat good, and then shout out to Mom's. Mom's paying for it. And,
that's what's important. That's the important part.
And then the most important part is tonight, the Final Four, and guess what I'm going to be eating tonight? Some Chinese rice from St. Louis, Missouri. Y'all don't know nothing about that. What up, Chris? Tell him at the shop, Chris. You know about that Chinese rice from St. Louis, Missouri.
Got to have it.
Definitely ain't too much good shrimp fried rice or Chinese rice down here.
No, it's not.
Chinese food, period.
It's not. But
I'm struggling.
But look, so I can't wait. Anyway, we're bringing back the segment, which is called the next level series, but it's kind of different how we're doing it today, because today is not necessarily, we have somebody who's trying to get to the next level. Well, I guess they are, but they've already made it to that next level. And he was one of the original next level series players. My man, Mr. Justin Gibbons. What's going on, Justin?
What's happening, Big Rob? How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm good. That's you. How you doing? You the pro player?
I'm feeling good.
The pro player.
I'm feeling good. Yeah, it's a beautiful day in California today. Y'all talking about how it's going to be nice and 70 out there. Man, I'm telling you, it's been nice and 75 out here the last couple of days.
And let you all know, Justin now, he is a member of the Montreal Alouettes, the CFL team.
Yes, sir.
So definitely we were happy and proud of you for that, man. So
appreciate it.
You know, last year you came in and I had you on the show and everything. You know, you came from this small school, Aurora University?
Yeah, Aurora University out in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, so very, very small. And did his thing, got a chance to compete in the pro day or participate in the pro day. Was it for Northwestern? What was it for? Who was it for?
Yeah, I was able to, since I went to Division III school, obviously Division III schools don't hold pro days. So you have to get a recommendation from your head coach and from a scout to be able to get into a Division I pro day. And so I was able to get both a recommendation, not only from my head coach, obviously, but from a few scouts to get me into Northwestern's pro day. Just Northwestern University out in Chicago as well.
Right, and he did his thing, of course, and he got looks. And then he didn't. He ended up on the Indianapolis Colts, their team, not practice squad, just on the training camp. And fortunately, he didn't make it. But now you see where he is. But my question to you is, through that process, you get with the Indianapolis Colts, and I'll never forget. I remember I was actually out with my wife at some concert, like a Dougie Fresh concert or whatever, old school concert. But I remember getting that call from you and how we were celebrating and we were happy and all that. And I was like, yo, I'm about to get some loot. No, I'm just playing. But no, I was happy. I was just happy that you made it. We were happy and everything at camp, whatever. And then it didn't work out. But during that process, how hard was it to stay focused, or was it hard at all? But to stay focused and to still have that goal in your mind, knowing that you received that bad news that they had to cut you.
I mean, it was definitely rough. You know, when I got to Indianapolis, I was riding pretty high. I felt like I had done everything right up until that point. Even through the second or third day of practice, I don't know if I told you, but the Indianapolis Star had written a little feature article about me saying I was like the surprise man to make that 53-man roster. So after seeing that, I get real excited. I'm to the point where I'm like, okay, not necessarily in cruise mode, but I'm like, okay, I'm feeling real confident. Like, I'm doing good right now. And then, out of the blue, they called me out of a meeting, say, hey, we're going to go ahead and let you go today. So that was definitely kind of a shock to me. And it was more of a reality check saying, this is not a game anymore. This is a business. And so when you come to that realization, that's when everything in your mind kind of turns to, okay, this is my job. This is not just a fun thing I'm doing anymore. And so, obviously being a free agent, I don't know if you guys have seen those Spice Adams videos of, I'm sitting around, I'm a free agent, like he's sitting upside down on the couch, like waiting for his phone to ring and stuff like that. Every time your agent calls, oh yeah, I'm in the best shape of my life right now. That kind of stuff. But no, it's a mental battle and it's a mental game. And you just got to be able to trust that you've done everything right and that you got to be able to trust your agent. And then you also got to be able to trust God that he hasn't brought you this far to only bring you this far,
Right.
And then coming from a small school, with me, I thought it was even tougher because, Division III guys, like I'm sitting there, I got lucky to get one contract offer. So those 5 or 6 months between when I got cut and when I got re-signed were, like I said, it was just a mental battle, and I just had to stay in the game, and I had to stay aware of the fact that I'm fighting for something that I want to do and that I love. So it was, and I had a great group of people surrounding me out in Chicago, Illinois, at a acceleration training facility, and that was a great program, and I got a chance to stay fit, and I stay ready every day, and it really benefited me. And as soon as I got that phone call back in December to sign with the Alouettes, it went from, I hope I get re-signed, to, okay, like you stayed ready the last 5 months and you're prepared to do this.
Absolutely. That's good. That's good. What are your strengths and weaknesses, and what have you been working on to make sure you get better at that?
A lot of my strength had to come from my size and my length. Obviously, being as big as I am, that really helps out. And my track and field background, so my speed and my mobility really aided me in that. And I felt like my pro day, my athleticism, those numbers really propelled me to get the looks that I got. As far as my weaknesses go, I think my weakness when I was in Indianapolis was the fact that, coming out of my breaks, being so long, coming out of your breaks, coming downhill is a little tougher. So I've gotten an opportunity the last couple of weeks being home back here in California to work with a defensive backs coach. And we're really working on, getting out of my breaks quick. And so, I got a chance when I talked to the defensive backs coach from Montreal. He was just telling me a few things that he saw that I needed to work on, and just baseball turn-in and stuff like that. And that's really what we've been pressing towards. And so I feel like going into Montreal, I'm going to be more than prepared, to go in and make an impact, if not right away, develop a little bit and then come in and start making some noise.
Yes, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you kind of explain the difference between the game of Canada and American football?
So in all honesty, there's not a whole lot of difference other than a few different rules. Obviously, as you guys know, it's a 3-down game, so instead of 4 downs, it's 3. That speeds the pace of the game up quite a bit. The field's a little bit longer, both width and length, and it's a passing league. They pass that ball 80% of the time, so for a guy like me that flies around and covers well, I mean, it could really, really boost my profile trying to get back into the NFL, if that's what, is destined for me to do. So I feel like being a tall guy like me, that anytime the ball is, thrown in the air, I track it fairly well. And if the game is a, 80-85% passing game, then for DBs, that bodes fairly well. But yeah, like I said, the differences are fairly minor. I feel like the speed of the game is the same. I got a chance to watch a interview with Chad Johnson about 2 or 3 days ago, and he played in Montreal back in 2014, and he was saying the same thing. Like, the competition, the speed, it's there. It's not no, boo-boo league. This is still real football, So, and if you think about it, a lot of guys that play in the CFL are former NFL guys. I don't know if you guys know Trent Richardson's in the CFL, Deron Carter's in the CFL, Josh Freeman's in the CFL. So there's tons of NFL, players that, maybe caught a bad break or working on redefining their careers. And the CFL is, it's where it's at.
I didn't know Trent Richardson was there.
I read about
it. Yes, sir.
Man, but I ain't gonna say nothing bad, man. So anyway, look, we appreciate you. Stop it. But anyway, we appreciate you for coming on, man, for being a guest, man. We're happy for you. We're rooting for you. I'm gonna take you up on your offer of coming out there.
Yeah, hey.
I'm gonna bring D with me. We're gonna come up there.
Come up, you let me know.
Said we on the sideline, so we're gonna do that. And like I said, man, I'm so proud of you, bro, from what you've been through, man. And thank you for keeping up with us. We're still going to rock with you. Let us know if you need exposure, whatever we can do to help. We're still there. And
I appreciate it.
Hey, man, take care. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Radio.
Tune in now. You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy
from over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at TuneIn.com
or your app store.
What's up? This is Anthony Hamilton, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
Yes, you all know what that means. You know when you hear this music, it is time for us to let you go. But before we let you go, I have to give a couple of shouts out. First, I want to shout out man upstairs, big homie, God Almighty, for giving me this platform, man. Y'all just don't know. The fact that I have this platform to talk what's on my mind, to make you all happy, glad, upset, mad, want to give me the stop it button, all of that. I appreciate God for that. And also I want to thank my engineer, G. Appreciate you, G, for doing your thing, man, and always having my back, bruh. We appreciate you for real, man. Also, I want to shout out The Intellectual. You know, good to have you come back, finally. You know, found him somewhere partying, clubbing somewhere, and had to drag him off like somebody's mama. But nah, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Give my shout out to, definitely shout out to my co-host, Mr. Controversy. Without him, we wouldn't be possible. We wouldn't be doing it. Shout out to the special guest we had here today, most definitely. Shout out to all the sports that give us the news and the reason that we come on here every Saturday to give y'all this news. We appreciate y'all for it, and definitely shout out to every friend and family and all our listeners.
Yes, and also make sure you follow the 3 Point Conversion Facebook page if you are watching it on Facebook Live. Thank you. If not, check it out. Facebook page. On Twitter, just look up the 3 Point Conversion. Instagram, YouTube. When I promise, I tell you, we get the fastest news out there. Shout out to LA, our insider. Then I want to thank my special guest, Mr. Kyle Clinton Nail. Appreciate you, sir, for coming on, man.
No doubt.
Got a shout out or something?
Season 3 Battleground champ.
Kyle
Clinton.
Right, because you
that's
know
how you want to be announced. That's how you get. That's
right.
how you get.
My bad. Season 3 Battleground champ. And he's going to battle the person who wins this battleground, tournament. So, and also I want to thank my other guests and Mr. Justin Gibbons. Appreciate you, sir. We're rooting for you. Deshaun Tate, college expert, man. Appreciate you, man. Been teaching me a lot along the ways. And also the baseball antagonist himself, Mr. Ben Wilson from the 3 Point Conversion. Check out our website also, the3pointconversion.com. Make sure y'all stay safe, man. Y'all eat good this weekend. Enjoy this good weather if you have good weather. Enjoy family, love on family. Enjoy these sports. I'm going to tear this rice up. I can't wait. I almost want to skip the dinner and just eat the rice, but I'm going to save it for later. But anyway, until then, same time, same show. Same crazy nonsense. Same crazy co-host.
You know it.
Smooth engineer. And the fans y'all listening, man. Y'all make sure y'all stay safe this weekend, all right?
See y'all next week.
But until then, will you miss me? I'm out. Peace. Just got done listening to the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3 Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.